Hey, it's Gabriel, and I welcome you guys to this wonderful podcast. I hope you guys are enjoying your day wherever you are listening from and watching from. Today, I happen to have this amazing person on my podcast, and honestly, I just forget her name. Totally forgot her
At
name.
least he said I'm amazing, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Well, thank God you took it in good heart. So, well, she will tell us about her name. I think I've met her
Nyibol.
a couple of times, but I can't remember where I met her at.
Yeah, you look familiar too.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
we're students, so probably in
All
some, yeah,
One of this particular occasion.
yeah.
Well, before we dive into the main subject, well, my podcast is mainly about health. Before we talk about all those stuff, I would be glad if you could tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you come from.
All right.
For starters, your name, because I just forgot to trust me.
So my name is Nyibol,
Mm-hmm.
and I am South Sudanese. I've been in Morocco for like 4 years,
Wow.
and I'm doing media and cultural studies in Mohammed Senk University.
Oh, all right.
I guess that's it about me.
That's so simple. So basically, you came to Morocco to study.
Yes.
Well, from what I've known, the little I've gathered about you, you happen to be a model.
Oh yeah.
God. So it's like today's conversation is going to be centered around you being a model,
Okay.
because I feel like there are a lot of health aspects when it comes to modeling that I really want to know.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then before I begin with anything else, I feel like most models happen to be very skinny. Yeah, I've noticed that. I know my people too have
Yeah,
noticed.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and so I've been wanting to ask this question for a very long time, and today I have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Do you have to be, beautiful, skinny? I mean, your skin color, does it really matter? I mean, do you have to be perfect to become a model? Do they consider all those stuff?
I wouldn't say you have to be perfect to be a model,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to fit the criteria. So way back
Mm-hmm.
when modeling was, like in the 90s, 80s, and early 2000s,
Yeah.
it was mostly skinny girls and tall girls. Like you have to be bone skinny
Mm-hmm.
most times to be able to make it, and you have to be tall in a way. But recently, inclusivity has been a huge topic in the entertainment industry and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, you don't really have to be skinny. You don't have to be that tall or whatever, because everybody's just being included,
I know.
So we have plus size models, we have short ones, and yeah. So it's very diverse right now. So you don't have to be skinny
All right.
to be a model now, because
Okay.
it's very inclusive.
I
So
see.
you can be whatever size that you are, and then you can apply. But then again, you have to fit the criteria. You can be a plus size model, okay? Maybe you have body,
Yeah.
you want to be a model, but you might not fit certain criteria, because
Criterias.
sometimes it's like you might think you can actually be one,
Mm-hmm.
but then the agencies just don't see it in you.
Exactly.
So I don't know what they'd be looking for. Honestly,
So
I still haven't figured it out.
meaning each agency have what they actually look for in a model.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
true.
a generalized thing.
It's not. So if you look at certain agencies,
Yeah.
you will see that most of their girls kind of look the same.
Yeah.
Like their white girls look the same, their black girls look the same. So there's that thing that they be looking for. Like you see the difference.
Yeah, definitely, we as human being, when you are in the extremities, we definitely will talk about you. I mean, when you are skinny, we will talk about the fact that you are too skinny and you are very fat. Well, you are obese. We will talk
Everybody will
about
talk
yeah,
about it,
exactly.
yeah.
So I would really want to ask, have you ever encountered this particular situation where someone tell you that you are so skinny and all this kind of stuff?
You know how skinny people grow up and everybody's like,
Yeah, you
yeah,
keep on, I know,
everybody's
right?
like, oh my God, your hands are so tiny.
Exactly.
And I'm like, yes, I am aware I've been like this,
Uh-huh.
So I can't even tell you how many times. So I feel like I'm so used to it now,
Exactly.
but sometimes it bothers me, but not too much, because I am very okay with myself, actually. Like I like how I am, and I'm just okay with it. But so many people tell me one thing that pisses me off, okay? And it's not only in this aspect. People do it,
Yeah.
but they don't realize that they do it in so many other aspects
I
of
know,
life.
right?
Yeah.
I know, right?
So someone would be like, "Oh my God, you're so skinny. Like, do you eat? Stuff like that." And I'm like, "I do eat." It's just like, but it's okay because you're a model. So if I wasn't a model, it wouldn't be okay, right?
Exactly.
So the fact that they add, it's okay because you are a model. So
what
that
this is,
means if
had
I
it been
wasn't a
that you were
model,
not a
I would
model.
be illegal.
Exactly.
You get?
I get.
It's like my skinniness is only legalized because I'm a model, but if I wasn't, it's not allowed.
So now that you mentioned that people would say because you're a model, maybe it's okay to be skinny.
Yeah.
Do you also do certain things to avoid being obese?
No, I don't. Oh, I eat. I'll eat anything. I'll even eat the person in front of me. That's it. Like, I will eat.
All right.
I don't care.
You don't care?
I eat everything. I don't even have allergies.
Good.
Yeah, so I eat everything. So
Yeah.
I don't do anything to like keep me, I don't even exercise. Like, I'm so
Wow.
unflexible, but sometimes I try.
Does it bother you that, look at my friends, they eat and they eat very well to the extent that they grow very big, and then I'm not growing big as much as I eat? Does it bother you at all?
No, not at all. Cause I can't even see myself bigger than this because I've grown up like this, and I'm not bothered by it at all because I am very, very okay with myself.
So could it be that you have the idea of being, a model? That's why you don't care? Because I think, I don't want to sound like those people, but I don't want to sound like those people, but outside the space, would you really consider it?
No,
Because
honestly.
trust me or not, I know some people who are actually worried about the fact that they eat a lot and yesterday they don't grow big.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is a very, very huge thing, especially with us Africans, because to us in Africa, the body standard is a big girl, really round and all that. And so I understand when girls feel like I'm not growing fat, because most of the ladies in Africa, they're all big. Yeah.
Exactly. I understand.
They're all big,
I
get.
understand.
So you have that pressure, like you always think I don't fit, okay?
Yeah,
I don't
the
fit the
society.
image, I don't fit what people like, or I don't fit the majority. So
Exactly.
you always have the desire to want to be the majority. Yeah. So I really do understand that. That's why BBLs are so influential and all these things. You find people trying to like make their bodies look like what is trending.
Yeah.
But for me, when it comes to like, I'm not okay with being skinny because I am a model.
Yeah.
Because even before I wanted to be a model, or before I became a model, I was already skinny and I had no problem with it.
Okay.
So it's not the subject of modeling. It's just,
now you've spoken about the fact that you had wanted to be a model. Did you train for it?
so this is how it happened, right?
Yeah.
So my mom is the one that wanted me to be a model.
Wow.
I don't even know where she saw it from, but I think she was watching Miss World one day, and she's like, one of my children can actually do it. And she's like, so she kept on telling me, when you turn 18, I'm going to like take you for modeling and stuff like that. And to be honest, it has never crossed my mind to be a model at all. Like, never. I wanted to be other things.
But not a model.
Not a model.
So can I say you were forced to become a model?
No, I wasn't forced.
And I think you are enjoying it as
I am enjoying it. I wasn't forced to be a model, and I'm enjoying it because I've always wanted to be in front of the camera. I'm actually doing media and culture, so I want to be a journalist.
Exactly.
So that means I'm already okay with like being in the spotlight and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So modeling is not a huge deal for me, but it's because of my mom. So when I turned 18, actually, I was walking on the streets one time. It's very funny.
All right.
So there's this pastor, right? He would always find me on the streets, be like, let's go to church, let's go pray. Not church, but like cell, these group meetings and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, no, I'm not going.
You're not interested.
Yeah. But then one time I was walking and I would actually always cover my head because I don't know why. Anyway, so he was walking with a girl, and then this girl after the prayer. So I accept that day. I did accept. We went for the prayers, and then after that she was like, "Are you a model?" And I'm like, "No." Everybody asked me that question.
Exactly.
Every time, "Are you a model?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "You would make a good model."
Wow.
And I'm like, "Okay, sign me up." Actually, I'm done with my, O-level high school, so sign me up. And then she's like, "Okay, fine." So the next Sunday, I went to meet her at her church, and then she took me to her agency, and they liked me, and then we started training for catwalks and all that.
I see.
It was hectic.
I
wanted to give up.
Yeah. I was about to ask you, you've never had an accident catwalking?
Oh, I have. that first day they put me in heels, and then they were like, okay, I was like, I'm not going to walk now. I will come back the next Sunday.
You would have to train in the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the time I came back, and the person who was training me, he's such a sweetheart. Like, we have such a strong relationship now. Salim, he's a designer too from Uganda.
I see.
Makes nice suits. He, you know, he was like, don't sit down, do not sit, even if your legs are hard. And I'm like, bro, I'm about to run out of this place. So he's like, go for it. And then I start walking, and I twist my ankle. We were training with like 6-inch heels. I have never worn heels before, because I actually grew up kind of a tomboy. Exactly. And I used to dance a lot, so I was always like in flat shoes.
I see.
So I twist my leg, I fall down and start crying.
I know. And you tell me about it if you were rushed to the hospital. Well, tell me, you travel a lot from the way you are speaking. Do you actually have vacation? I mean, because I even the last time I wanted to speak to you, I was told you were in Marrakesh.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of traveling. Do you actually have time for yourself?
Honestly, do I have time for myself? When I'm in Morocco, yes, I do. But then a model really never has time for themselves, I would say. Because even right now, I am seated here, but I have like job options that might get confirmed. They could call me up tomorrow or the other day. Exactly. So you always have in your mind that you can't plan anything outside of your model schedule. Like, even if you have a free day, you know that tomorrow you might have something. Yeah. So it's always like that.
So how do you deal with school with all this stuff?
It's really tough. It's really, really tough, especially when you want to be there and make money, but then you also know you really need the degree, you know. So, yeah, it's really, really hard. But I try to balance it out. Most times I'm back there for Fashion Week and I stay for a few months. Then 1 month maybe to exams. I always try to come back here.
And prepare.
Yeah.
All right, tell me, before you even began the podcast, you were telling me about the fact that you hate doctors. All right. So you will take it
I thought we moved on.
No, we are not going to move on, because this is something we have to tackle. So we are going to begin from where you started your catwalking. I mean, you fell, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened afterwards?
When I fell and twisted my ankle, they never took me to the hospital.
So how were you treated then?
We just sat there and waited for the pain to go, and then they told me, okay, for today you just sit on the side. Because I cried. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And in my mind I was like, I'm not coming back.
So was it not that painful?
It was. I cried. Because
such a thing, when it happens, if you don't really take it to the hospital, it might lead to something else.
Maybe that's why my ankle still has problems. Because I do have, my legs are spoiled, I would say.
So why do you hate hospital that much?
I do not like hospitals because I feel like, I don't know, it could be a mental thing, but also not. Yeah. So I have this idea that when I'm at the hospital, I could easily catch a disease that I did not have. Yeah. Because there's a lot of sick people. You don't know who has the contagious disease, and you don't know who sat on that seat you're sitting on. So when I go to the hospital, I'm like this. So my skin doesn't touch the chairs or like the hospital stuff. And when I go home, I take them off like that.
Okay. So and you never put it on again, I guess.
Until I wash it.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Basically, there's something like that at the hospital. We call noxosomia, where you actually contract diseases from the hospital within the next 48 hours you've been at the hospital.
See?
Yeah. So there is something like that.
I
understand. So it's not actually a mental issue. It's something that really exists. And I have some friends who actually are afraid of catching diseases. I mean, when they use public stuff, let's say a public toilet, anything at all.
Oh yeah, I'm one of them. I'm so germophobic. Like things make me feel like.
I get it. I get it. So that's why. Does that mean you've never been to the hospital before?
Oh, I have.
What sent you there?
I have.
Because sometimes I feel like there is a need for you to actually sleep barely on. I mean, without wearing anything on one of these.
See, I have a lot of stories as to why I just don't want to be in the hospital. So when I was younger, I got sick.
All right.
What did I have? Yellow fever or something. It was just extreme, right? I was admitted in the hospital. I don't know for how long, maybe like a week or something.
All right.
And so, backstory, we are in some place and it's mainly controlled by the UN. It was during that time when South Sudan was still, war and stuff like that. Yeah. And that was the time that AIDS was also really a thing in Ethiopia. So the region is like Ethiopian region, kind of. Yeah. I'm sorry to Ethiopians who are listening. But yeah, it was really scary. So my neighbor, she was an AIDS patient. I don't even know why we were close to each other because she was an AIDS patient and people were scared of AIDS. You know, it's a new disease.
Of course.
People do not have an idea of it, and people, it was just so, there was a lot of stereotypes, you know. Exactly. Yeah, so her family brought her in and dropped her there and forgot about her. So I watched her die.
Wow.
I know. as a kid, I was like, yo, I don't
Yeah,
want to come back to this place. Yeah.
Exactly.
So many stories.
But now ACE is no longer a thing of stereotype because I
Yeah.
feel like they've with medicine has advanced a lot, that they've gotten treatment for all this kind of stuff, and I think it's really okay to not stigmatize anybody with HIV/AIDS. And aside that, what else has been preventing you from going to the? So ever since you've came to Morocco, you've never gone to the hospital before?
No, I haven't.
Wow, that's very,
Oh,
very good.
you see, I'm really thankful to God that I do not get sick at all.
Mhm.
This is the longest I have been sick, and it's just flu and cough that I can get medicine, from the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But it's
otherwise,
not also good to be treating yourself, like
Yeah,
self
it's
treatment.
not
It's not
good.
really good. I
Yeah.
would tell you.
most times though,
So
at
that
least
means-
I went to the pharmacy this time.
Yeah.
Most times I'm like, I am not going anywhere.
Yeah.
God, please heal me, and then I'm healed.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
because basically there are some diseases that actually heals on its own. We have
Yeah.
this kind of immunity in our body, our young soldiers that actually fight against disease, especially when
Yeah.
you have cold. There's something that you just have to drink water and have enough rest, and you are good to go.
yeah,
All right, so it means I also really want to dive into your life a little bit, okay? See, we human beings, we will definitely talk about the extremities here. So looking at the fact that, we will definitely talk about the fact that you are too fat, you are too slim. Has anybody spoken to you that much that you are so pissed off that it has broken you down mentally before?
never.
But
It
pisses
just
you
got
off.
me angry because why the hell are you saying it so many times? I've heard you the first time. Like, just shut up. You get, but it doesn't get me to like want to be like, oh my God, I might be ugly or nobody's, But there's a time.
Say it.
Woo, confessions.
Yeah, say it. There is a need.
Okay, so there's a time in my life that I was like, damn, all the boys want booty. I do not have any. Is there anyone who's actually going to like me? You get?
I know, right? I
Yeah,
get it.
I have thought of that, honestly. That like I've thought of it, but then I always remind myself that because I believe in love, okay?
I know, right?
And I also believe that there is someone out there for me
For
that
you.
God has, created for me.
you, yeah.
So that person is going to like my bootylessness, okay?
know, right?
So I'm just like, just chill.
Yeah,
chill.
your
Someone is
time will
going to
get-
like
yeah,
it.
you
Yeah.
get
So
it. Exactly, because when you have situations like this, okay, it's almost about who you fall on, who is going to be your third wheel. You get it? So maybe you happen to be in a good family where they actually see a lot outside the box, okay? So they actually consider you being skinny, normal and all those stuff. But then in some actual, cornered area, they don't actually see that as normal. So, well, it depends on who you live your life with.
that's true.
The environment is very important when
That
you're
is
having a
true.
mental issue. You get it.
Yeah.
And again, people actually have this belief that there's someone up there taking control of everything, like you just said, that somewhere one day God has actually prepared someone who likes you like
Yes.
you are. Exactly. With all these ideas being in your mind, it actually helps you to actually care mental issues, and it's very important to
that
actually
is
consider
true.
that.
Yeah.
It's every day I tell people that, hey, look, you having the mental issue is not a problem, but who would you call when you have this suicidal thought? Who are you going to call to save you?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
And when it happens that you don't have anybody to call, definitely there are these hotlines you can call and then talk to them and tell them about your issue, and maybe they can come to your
Yeah.
aid.
I have this thing where I'm like, because it's really hard for me to open up. I just started opening up like recently.
I know, right?
So every time I'm going through something, I'm just thinking like, just go to the streets, find a stranger, like go far away from where you live,
Exactly.
find a stranger and just ask them if they have a minute and just tell them like, yo, I'm going through shit, And
Exactly.
then just leave them there and just go, because they will never know who you are again.
And then
'Cause
that's
I don't know. Someone asked me before, is it because you feel like people are going to judge you for what, for like the things you're
This
going
them
through, or
say.
they're going to think that you just being a crybaby.
yeah.
And I don't even know if that's why, but I don't know.
I think
It's like,
for me, I think that's why, because we are always afraid of being judged. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
that's true.
I think. And sometimes too, you don't actually have to vent it out to somebody. You can even shout at, when you're in your room, you close yourself up and then make the noise. It's just say it out,
Yeah.
like venting it
all
out.
right. I usually wrote poems whenever I was
Exactly,
feeling
you see.
weird and angry. I always
Wow, you
go
write
write
poems
something.
too.
long time ago.
I know, right? I know, right? So, we are just going to move very fast right now. So, I would like you to advise anybody who is willing to become a model, because people actually think one, it's just easy, and then well, there's something that's actually happening. I mean, in the entertainment space, before you are given this kind of job where you become a spotlight, because being a spotlight on a spotlight is very advantageous. Trust me. Maybe yeah, you get the influential deals, you get caught up, and all those stuff. Is there something that actually influenced all this kind of stuff? Because we hear a lot of things goes on behind the scene. Let's say maybe before you get a job, looking at the fact that most models happen to be beautiful, they would have to sleep with you or something of that sort.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We want you to clear the air. That's such a thing does not exist. I mean,
Okay,
like that.
so first of all, obviously these things happen in every job. Every career has these things. There's always going to be that thing of like, oh, you want this, you have to pay for it this way. Okay, and modeling is not an exception. Personally, I haven't experienced anything like that. Nobody has tried to sexualize me on set or anything. And I feel like also how you present yourself when you're on set, like for example, you go for a shoot and all that, and let's say there's somebody that you feel attracted to, and then you act like, obviously they're going to get the signal that you like them, and then they might make a move on you. But sometimes some people are just horrible, and most of the stories I've had are from like photographers and all that, but honestly, I won't say much. It's not a good thing, okay, for someone to be sexualized or to experience this or to be told to pay in a certain way before they indulge into their job or their passion.
Exactly.
It's not nice, and yeah, it's really discouraging. I say I'm not going to talk a lot about it because I haven't experienced it myself. I'm going to talk about how respectful the people that I have worked with have been,
Exactly.
It's always like, do you want me to do this? If it's a man, he's going to ask, can I adjust this on your body? Like the clothes, like, can I do this? Can I do that? And it's up to me to say yes or no.
Yeah.
If I say no, he's not going to do it. They'll find like a female one, or they will just let me do it myself, So it's very, very respectful. And I have my own changing space, and it's obviously constant, and also the other stuff of modeling is for prostitutes, or modeling is taking naked pictures and all that. To be honest, I'm a fan of naked pictures, okay?
All right.
Not naked like,
I know, I get it.
but like, these artistic naked pictures, because bodies are beautiful.
I know, right?
Yeah, bodies are so amazing. It's one of like the best art ever. But then if you see a model that has gone topless, that was her decision, and there was consent, because when I was signing papers, we had this section where like, can you do topless? Can you do full naked? Can you do da-da-da? Can you do bikini? And I take the ones that I want.
And it comes with its price, I guess.
Yeah, obviously.
Course, yeah.
So you go pose for naked photos knowing that people are going to talk about it and people are going to talk about you. So it's up to you to mentally know that you're ready for the criticism.
Yeah,
You're ready for people's comments. So yeah, I don't know. Some models have been lied to, obviously, because most of the models, especially the European ones or American ones, like the white ones, they get into modeling at a really young age. I have a friend who joined when she was 17. She was a really young kid. And obviously, you can easily be manipulated,
because,
into doing things that you don't know. Yeah. They'll just tell you, oh, it's normal. It's normal.
Yeah.
But then you think that it's normal at that time. But when you grow up and you actually get to look into things, it's not normal. You are just being used, Yeah. So it's really horrible.
I mean, then you've said a lot to advise, the young ones out there who are willing to enter into modeling. I think you've said a lot on that. What do you think? Can I be a model?
You could.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
there's
would it
different
take
types of modeling.
you?
So there's like the runway. Okay. I really do not know them.
All right.
But yeah, so there's like, you can be a runway model, you can do editorial, you can do beauty, there's commercial. And so editorial, like if you're an editorial model, that's where you really need to, it's very strict, I would say. But commercial modeling it's kind of like, okay.
All right.
Yeah, commercial modeling is like the stuff you see on adverts, like TV, you're just advertising stuff. So
Right.
that's modeling too.
Right.
So yeah,
So anybody can do it then.
anybody can do it.
You should just be mentally strong.
Yeah.
All right. About the fact. Okay. Yeah, you should be.
You should be mentally strong
Because
if you
it's
want to
really
be a model.
necessary,
Like,
yeah.
if I'm to say anything, mental health.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be mentally strong. I told someone this actually a few
Interesting.
days ago. I was like, you want to be a model?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're strong mentally, because
Exactly.
this shit is not easy.
Exactly.
Are we
I mean-
allowed to cuss?
No, this is the this is the you are the fourth person telling me about mental health. I mean, it's really necessary, and it's something people actually don't care about because it's not a physical health. But what happens is that when you are defining your health, being a good health, it's not only about your physical health. It's also
not.
about your mental health
That's
as well.
true.
Your well-being, your happiness, your peace.
That's
But
true.
people actually oversee this kind
No,
of
mental health is such a huge thing,
Thing, yeah.
like a really huge thing.
I mean, if you want to talk about this, you wouldn't even end.
I know, that's
I know,
true.
right? I
That's true.
And I hope that at the end of the day, you would love going to the hospital because it's there for your health. And then happily and thankfully, you don't get sick that much to be going to the
Yeah,
hospital.
thankfully, honestly.
And trust me, there's this kind of disease you can actually attract from the hospital. So it's not actually a mental idea.
Yeah.
But well, people
So
have
guys,
this
stay away
obsession
from
to
the
us.
hospital
No,
because you
please.
might actually
Please,
catch
when-
something that you did not go for.
And aside that, how do we earn money if people don't come to the hospital? So
They will survive. They'll find other ways.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, but there is a need to actually come to the hospital when you're
That's
actually
true.
sick. When it's something that's beyond, I mean, just taking water and then sleeping and having that sort of rests.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate it and I enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you for
I think this is
inviting
the
me.
first time I've actually had a conversation which is actually based on medicine. Most of the time it's about, I mean, social life and stuff.
Social life.
I
Yeah.
really-
I do like medicine. Surprisingly, I wanted to be a psychologist.
you see.
Yeah.
see.
So, I mean, mostly like how the human brain works and their
Exactly.
emotions. So I'm
Exactly.
really interested.
Yeah.
I still hate hospitals.
And and aside the fact that you happen to be in the domain on, I mean, in front of camera and other stuff, you can use the opportunity to educate people. You don't actually have to be in medicine before you tell people about their mental health. The only thing you need to is to have the experience. You
Yeah.
experiencing it. You
That's
get it.
true. That's
You
true. And
experience-
I'm such a big advocate for mental health.
Mhm.
Yesterday we were trying to get people to do mental health campaign in Uganda.
Good.
So
that's nice.
yeah.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Mental health is huge. We could talk about it some other time
Some other
because
time,
it's
obviously.
really
it's huge.
yo,
It's
yeah.
huge. It's huge. All right, thank you once again for coming.
Thank you
I
so
really
much.
enjoyed this conversation, as I said earlier on, and this has been it. You guys do it to listen to this podcast. This podcast, everybody listen to podcast, and also watch the YouTube video, as well as you have to subscribe, because if you've not subscribed to it, you've done nothing, because you have to get the algorithm to think that people are actually watching this video and they have to push it up there. And thank you very much and have a very wonderful day.
Exactly. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Don't go to hospital.
And where can they follow you as well? I don't want you to end the conversation with don't go to hospital. Where can they follow you?
So they can follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I should be the first to follow you now.
You should.
Yeah,
You should do it now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only on Insta. Honestly, I'm not a social media person. I'm so boring. I was forced. I was forced to open my Instagram account. But
Yeah.
follow me. That's where you will see most of my work. You know, when I do fashion week, when I do photo shoots, I post them there.
Okay.
Yeah, I can also interact with you from there. But I'm so shitty
What
with
do we
social
search
media.
for when we get to Instagram? The name.
Nyibol, Doc, Jock. NYIBOLDOKJOK.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I will put it on screen.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Lovely.
Yeah.